Who doesn't love summer camps? Summer camps. No one can resist the promise of s'mores and swimming in the lakes and hours of exploration in the woods and nature. I want to welcome you to a retreat in the mountains of Mongolia, the magic. I am Tonya D, a holistic shaman, medium, and otherworldly life coach and subtle energetic surgeon. I'm extending an invitation for you to experience the serenity of Mongolia's majestic mountains, lush hills, relaxing in a peaceful atmosphere of a traditional Mongolian temple, surrounded by the warmth, the glow of the crackling bonfires. Join us for an unforgettable experience as we explore the ancient culture of Mongolia, wild horses, sand dunes, nomadic ritual, shamans, villages, the origins, exploring the beauty of Mongolia's unique landscape, discovering the power of living in the present moment. Check out the itinerary for this retreat at club.tonyad.tv/Mongolian retreat. The Magic of Mongolia retreat promises a bewitching brew of spine-chilling tales of the supernatural, everlasting bonds of friendship, gastronomic delights, impromptu serenades, brave adventures, moments that we're going to leave you forever enlightened. Sign up today. Space is limited for only a few heartfelt magical beings, and I'll see you on the other side coming August. Can you feel the excitement of heading to Mongolia? Either way, inshallah and Ashe, blessings to you. My 300 plus magical energetic beings. Are we going to hit 400 this month? Well, either way, thank you for joining in, watching my show. So we're at this prophetic and the profounds. Where are you? Or who are you? Who am I? And are you feeling this transformation, the shifting down to the cell level? And possibly further into the unlimited, endless possibilities. So with that, turn on the notification bell, hit that white rabbit right now. It's the only way to ensure that this algorithm will give us the nutritional quotient that we all deserve, the value quotient, the optimistic venue, the love quotient, while we are waiting for people to hop onto the live stream, listen to the replay, tune in the afternoon or whatever timeline that you happen to be on. We are weaving the threads of the in-between. So you may feel like you are going through the stones, kind of like Outlander style, or into a cave. So this magical doorway is transforming our emotional field, the emotional zone of neutrality, if you can go there. Are you able to feel who you are, feeling what you do, out into the future, filling into the thread line? So we are transforming who we are, cleansing our auric fields of all the debris that have possibly held us from being who we are. Transformation is this access point. This is a turning point, the optimum growth revenue, if you will, not just valuing, a different kind of revenue. But this transformation brings up all the fields of the emotions, a variety of them that seem to be percolating kind of off of each other, kind of like how steam percolates. So our emotional foundation is in need of grounding these sensations into the element of surprise. So what is the element that you need? What is your useful element? That's why I do the mystical 4 pillars, the elementals. I bring those in. Feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling your entire essence embodied, feeling your values, feeling your will, feeling your self-esteem, your confidence, all the things, your love space. So this allows us to respond from the zone of emotional neutrality to all of our environmentals, to the walls of our house, the outer world, all of the surroundings. So in a way, this lights up our lioness, our heart, the star that we are. So this foundation, the stage of emotions, these shifts that we are making, transforming, shifting, we are in a season of transformation, will be of a higher octave, a high performance, a fine-tuned engine of who we are ultimately becoming. So feelings are the key to access this fine tuning. So what is your emotional hum, the tone of your emotional frequency? What is your seed signature sound, your tonality? So my name is Tonya D. Welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channels, please do, YouTube or otherwise. Tonya D on YouTube, where you're probably watching me now. Musing with Tonya D, my podcast, the season of the Witches podcast theme, and the season of Aries. This is where our root channels online, the sacral, along with our I am presence. This is unique and individual to each and every one of us. But this is the eccentricity of the other world, visioning, so much fun, actually, percolating feelings, the cosmic brew, or maybe cosmic bliss, subtle energies percolating. But before I go any further, once again, I want to give a shout out to the village. My village is growing, the tribe is excelling, all the new peeps entering the community, new subscribers. I always just like to give a validation, a voice of acknowledgement and recognition that I do see you, new friends and guests. Welcome to the show and arriving. My intention is to really hit 400 peeps by month's end, of course. That's kind of exciting all in all because we are growing, right? That's part of the fun. And I always like to give a shout out as well, those of you that have tuned in since the beginning. You're watching me transform on stage live. It really does take a village, a tribe. So gratitude and blessings to you and for you as always. Thanks for joining in, tuning in. And again, those that do watch the replay later, and remember a comment if you do feel you're in need of a message for your day. Sharing is authentically just a way of paying it forward, sharing the magic, the musings. You could also find me on TikTok. Just remember authentically that I am your otherworldly shamanic reflecting assistant. You truly are your own healer. But sometimes we have energetic hiccups as we're coursing through time-space dimension on the earth plane, earth school. Myself included, and so we need somebody to assist us to get out of our own magical way. Now, the daily snippet, what's this all about? I like to bring in the cosmic insights, the planets, the energies of the galactic frontier. By design, I do follow the lunar energies of the moon through the seasons and also through the gates of human design, the gene keys. I do have an activated gate today, which I will get to. But our root channel is emotionally activated. So we're feeling the physicality, physical empathy, meeting our emotional empathy. So this is safety, security, and feeling it. It's the inner wheels of our sacral, the outer wheels and rims of our sacral, front and back side, if you know what I'm chatting about there. Because we got spins. And the elementals, the 4 pillars. I do a mystery guest on Sundays about the 4 pillars, subtle energies, chakras, energy centers. They're all the same thing. But the root center is online, activated, the channels, the pathways, even the auric fields, doing a lot of auric field cleansing. So this is the in-between multi-dimensional energy. It's actually one of my favorite. It's very otherworldly. It could be the lower world, the middle world, the upper world. Could be another timeline. There's so many things. I do have several planets at this degree, this number, so it's very comfortable for me. It's very familiar. It's the element of surprise. So as a reflector in human design, one of my daily questions that I do ask myself, am I in the right place with the right people? And surprise, the element of surprise instead of the element of disappointment. So taking the time, giving space, the initiation, the action energy of Aries is the field of our root center. So fields are merged with the 10th auric field, the Earth star. So give yourself that emotional pause point, a moment to react within that pause point, the 0 point. It almost feels like a void. Try not to take things to the limits or too seriously. Take the slow roll. The slow roll. So the universe is opening a new door to these unlimited possibilities. The course for us to flow in is our feelings, water, all of them in a conversation with the oneness, the streams. So it's as if you do this emotional feeling dance with the cosmos. And we're in the field of determining where our authenticity of our ego self belongs. That's our character, our actions, how we're seen in the world, the wardrobe we put on when we go out the front door, the actions of acting out or the actions of zero reaction. Either way, it's our response narrative, if you will. And feelings never lie. Energy never lies. It's this behavior like, where do we belong? I've been scrubbing my auric field for over a month now, and now it all makes sense. This may come as the element of surprise. It might even be a blind spot, a new realization. Often this comes from literally the breaking down of something, the energetic system, all systems really. But energetically, we can generally feel it first in our auric field before it manifests in the physical, in the body, the embodiment. And it's all streams flowing, really. But something is possibly breaking apart today. Something isn't operating at that fine tune, that higher octave engine level. So you may be being moved by the universe to where you authentically belong. So just allowing the move to happen. You may have one way of doing things, and the tools that you use just stop working. Maybe you are a visual third eye person, visioning, and now you get to use another spiritual gift, a tool. A new tool is opening up for you. Maybe you're becoming more embodied. Maybe you're becoming more kinesthetic gifts. There's actually more of those. So we're kind of being called to use an alternative gift that we may not even realize that we even had until all of a sudden, bingo, the door opens up. So whatever is falling apart or breaking away, or the course correction, if you will, something that's not working, it's actually making room for something greater than ever before. It's opening up a new door, just like the Matrix. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a relationship and we go through the breakup, it's sometimes a struggle, we fight it. But on the other side, the new relationship is actually greater than ever before. So those are like stepping stones. And the previous relationship, that's what that is. So you could use that kind of as a metaphor for any of life's breakaway parts. Whether even if it's a career, you're breaking away, you're being moved. The universe is always moving us for our greater good and innovating a more efficient match for us, a new, something definitely of a higher vibration frequency, skipping stones, thread lines, if you will. So the key energy of the day, it's like it's high tides, it's time, finding that panoramic higher perspective of how we see the world, our future. It's the Merlin effect. It's what's possible is transforming within our emotional field. And emotional field is this permeating field that's always bubbling and percolating. So often we see or we judge the opportunities as if it's like mission impossible, the impossibilities. The energy of impossibility is actually more tangible today. Energy to matter, spirit to earth star. So whatever your plans are for your future life, your future self, really feel them as if they have already arrived, and observe your wheels, if you will, the wheels of the sacral, the inner wheel and the outer wheel, the rims, front and back side, the spinning wheels percolating. And as you're watching the spins, filling into them, does your heart feel that you authentically belong on this higher level? The singers of the realms, they only allow us to hear the seed sound to our own energy, frequency, vibration, because otherwise the circuit board just, it spats. It's like lightning. So it's as if we are feeling, who am I? And then we're seeing into the future of those feelings percolating. The threads are transforming these streams, universal streams, scalar waves, personal streams. So when we feel the feels, the frequency tone, the vibrational match, that's when it's time to explore where we may authentically belong. So feeling into the streams, the higher octaves, you know my go-tos: peace, love, joy, happiness, integrity, always. But with that, just a few announcements, and welcome to a Wizardry of Wednesday. You cannot make this up. It really is the Wizard's Day. Just a few announcements here. I guess I'll hit that one. So are you feeling the energy actually on the rise for the solar eclipse coming to a venue near each of us very soon? I did record the Musing Moon meditation. Please comment, because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep doing those. But we do have the Season of the Witches, and this is the modality of letting the mind go with Marissa Nicole, my audio artist this week. You can tune in. Musing with Tonya D podcast, my website, tonyad.tv/podcast. Also Apple, Spotify, Appify, Amazon as well. And then Sundays, again, I should really change this up. Thanks for tuning in to me. But I really like this image, right? But we do have a mystery guest I do on Sundays, a 4 pillars chart, and the rising of the origins. That's a private community. So if you ever want me to look at your chart, talk about your useful elements, what's kind of streaming in for this year. But just so you know, we're all going through an authenticity kind of thing. The universe is moving us where we belong. Lots of shifting and transformation and changes are happening where we actually are climbing in our skin. We're being embodied. And I do have the Witcher's Way to Manifestation. Super excited about this. because we all manifest differently. We're all energetic beings having in this human experience, and we all law of attract differently and uniquely. We all got a gift and purpose, divinely inspired. We're all unique. It's this layering and building of our foundation from, I would say, the heavenly realm stairs down to the basement stairs here on the earth plane. So, sometimes we got to go to the root chambers, if you will. And I do offer cowrie shell divinations and other one-on-one soul support sessions as well, if you are called for that. And again, we do have Mongolia for people. But being that I do have a connected gate, I kind of want to tap into that. Today, I have a connected gate. Here we go. You're not going to see me through this, so I apologize for that. But what I love about human design is I get to feel into these gates all of the time. So gate 38 is actually activated for me today with gate 28. So gate 38 is the purposeful fighter. It's the energy to fight for things that have meaning and purpose. It's like I'll fight for authenticity. So it's like not losing our warrior spirit and to call upon the warrior spirit and not to forget to stand in my power, the frequency and the energies of it. Not allowing the struggle to be my badge of honor. So the world is sometimes feeling as if it's full of suffering, and it's also full of overcoming the suffering. So that's one side of this gate, this channel. But the other side is the darkness, the whisper of the darkness, which if you've heard me, like nobody gets out of Earth school alive. And the theme of this is the fear of death or purposelessness. And I'm kind of going through that, the sign of Scorpio. So this is actually attached to my South Node, I believe. But it's the darkness whisper, the energy to face the darkness in life with courage. So this is probably when I talk about the ghost of the darkness, this is when it gets activated. But this is, again, finding or fulfilling purpose in life and the fear of dying before I create that purpose. So just knowing that everything in life is there as a vehicle for our transformation, and actually that we need to use it. That's its gift and purpose. And, often we regard death as being critical to the way we experience life. So when we shift our fear of death, the way we live actually changes in our day-to-day life. Nobody gets out of Earth school alive. So that's kind of the message there. So kind of fascinating. Gate 38 and 28, lots of channels. However, let's move forward. There we go. I don't know if that's interesting to you, but for myself, because I'm a reflector, I always like to tune into these and kind of muse about where I'm at. But on the elemental highway, you can see we've got a yang metal rat of a day. Yang metal feeds the rat the water. That's it's the purpose for a yang metal is water, communication. That's what it creates. And we have all of the elements. We have a rocky mountain, a mountain with boulders kind of as a terrain, if you can kind of get the visual of it. But yang metal is that unrefined metal. This is the big boulders, the stones. It's mining, it's crystals, which actually, if you think about it or muse about it, just as beautiful as the refined ones, really. Maybe beautiful, more magnetic, more beautiful. It's all perspective. So this is our willpower. It's courage. Metals connected to the solar plexus kind of energy as far as a mineral. And the heart, I would say that actually the lungs, I'm thinking of air, movement, but higher standards, believing in setting those higher standards. Courage, authenticity comes to mind. It takes some power to be courageous. So this is air as an element as well. Breathing exercises, a breath work, somebody who's low on metal or mineral, really doing breath work to get the flow, the spirit flowing through us. It's sound. It's also vibrational healing. But water, the rat and yin water on the year. So this is more of a radical performance, maybe innovative, maybe flexible. It's yin, but often it's that abrupt, scratchy voice. And we also have yin water in the dragon. So it's a wet earth kind of day. The water is flooding our earth, which really isn't a metaphor here in Utah. We're planning on the flooding happening here. But what's funny is when you plan something, it's usually the other way around. So it's better to have the element of surprise, right? That's what's missing. But yang fire is ambition. It's authority for a metal energy. So this is drastic, radical power. It's unhealthy. And yin fire is actually a better fire energy for a yang metal energy. It's forging it into something useful because it takes time to melt the metal and move it into making it a knife, a sword, or whatever you're moving it into. But the dragon is a heavy resource. It's stability, where wood is wealth, prosperity, growth for a young metal person. So where wood is in the birthing season, we are in the spring still, even though we're at the end degrees. So it's fresh, it's innovative, it's those visioning ideas, making them stable, manifesting Earth Star, this creation for abundance for our day, something we are creating, it's nurturing. So the message from Monday, I did pull a card for today. And today's message, if you were watching me on Monday, is believe, which, hello, who doesn't love this, the sock monkeys, belief, the oracle deck. But the 6, this is opening up to accept or to receive. So it's like, are we ready to receive what we believe? And we all believe differently. It's awesome, right? So this is great, especially on an otherworldly, multidimensional frequency streaming day. The realm of the Fae, or even the sock monkeys, you decide. But it's about asking ourselves, what do I believe in? Who do I believe in? What is the feeling inside of me, feeling into myself, feeling into my future self? These are different energetic bodies, and we all have them. So this feels like an overcast, if you will, from yesterday, where the sun and Jupiter merged together, beliefs merging, love yesterday, right? You can't make this stuff up. So are you having a hard time believing in yourself or believing in others? You know, that's the choreography sometimes. It's like, what they're saying is not in alignment with what they're doing, right? But this energy is about, it's time to write our own powerful statement in that I am energy, because that's unique and individual to each and every one of us. I am. So you decide who you are and where you belong in this world and out into the future. So I, myself, am lovingly living my dharma. I am finished with all my karma. So this is the 8. It's the breakaway 8, the 2 zeros that actually make the 8, the figure 8. So it's the lower world, the upper world. So whatever your I am is, read it out loud and say it proud, invoking it, feeling it, believing it, but also nurturing, protecting it, the dragon, and loving it, the heart. Honestly, we've got to protect first, nurture, love it second, feel it, and then you know if your heart is aligned with it and you authentically believe it. So we have a powerful moon coming soon. So I would really be feeling into that, this upcoming moon. It's going to be galactic juicy. What does the moon feel like? Feeling into a new you, a you that's full of integrity, reality of who you are meets this higher octave, your higher self, your Sarah, what you look like in the other world. So we often get fixated on where we've already been, and that really keeps us from steering forward. We kind of get stuck in the mud. It dams us up from moving into our future self, our higher selves. So often it's patterns of what is working, but just know if the floodgates open, that dam breaks, allow it. So we often have this kind of natural instinct to repair things when they're broken, to fix them. Sometimes we're rescuers, especially in relationships, codependent. So do we really belong rescuing others, or should we rescue ourselves first? It's kind of that oxygen mask on the airplane. So it's time to resist anything that looks too good to be true. Resist the temptation. Life is moving us. It's innovating us. It's authenticating us to a future that's new. It's different. It's innovative, that we authentically belong in. So you may have literally to do some reflection, some inner mirroring, the etheric mirror, the 10th auric field. I call it the etheric highway, and the Merlin effect. So really be an observership. Watch. Ask yourself, inner will of the sacral, is there a new way of moving through this? And it feels like a torsion field of a slinky on the sacral, by the way. So just feeling into that. We often stay where we have been because it's familiar, especially when we're outfitting the wardrobe, the mold. It's going to feel different. It's going to look different. Just know that we are gifted, every one of us, gifted and talented with so much more. So we all have gift and purpose. We all have an ability to actually do more. So do for you first, and then do for the other. Feel into the doing, and what does it feel like to do you, to be you authentically? What does that feel like? Should feel super juicy, especially because we've been cleansing the auric fields and our sacral. So, what does it feel like to be you in the future? Imagine, vision your future self, and hold the frequency keynote from this day forward, that tonality. Feel the true you, your higher self, your Sira, scrubbing your astral field of all the gunk that's been in there. You might even be able to get a visual of that. That is not who you are or who you have been. Somebody has been throwing the mud, I guess, on there, the debris, the patterning, the conditionings of this world. It's a very unfit wardrobe that's been placed upon us. But it's about integrity, aligning, and committing to a feeling that raises the daisies, the blooms, the roses, bursts the tulips. So imagine yourself even in a field of poppies. So with that, I would affirm that I am feeling my feelings, the feelings of who I authentically am, integrating them with my feelings of my future self, my higher self. You already feel this way. We've had a hiccup. So we're cleansing the auric fields. So you may just feel the timeline bump, possibly going to a different timeline or a lifetime, weaving the streams of what it feels like to be authentically who you are in this world, along with the feelings of where you authentically belong moving forward. So knowing our root centers activated, the I am, the vision of color, our third eye, how we see things in the imaginal realm even, our sacral, the wills, the inner, the outer wills, the front and the back, doing the dance. Who would have thought? So really act with an intention, act with a feeling into those intentions. Feelings add the boost octane, they add the intensity. But it's time that we all felt amazing. We feel fantastic, and we know we are doing fantastic too. And just separating ourselves from the outer fields of the toxicity that's going through a huge transformation too. So with that, I say Ashe, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on the other side. Blessings.
Yeah, so I build upon just the being and the awareness of it, and it really is being present in the moment. And, I've heard it a million times, but it took a while for that to really sink in. I live in an apartment right now. When I walk down to my car, I don't know how many times I've walked down there and I haven't heard a bird chirp and I haven't heard the sounds of traffic or whatever. You're on your phone, you're thinking about what you got to do, you're running late, you're whatever, you're preoccupied, you're in your mind. But being present, whoa, oh, there's a whole world going out around me and I am aware of it and I am. And because I am aware. And then because I'm aware, that world is going on around me. And building on that, it's just